Hello and welcome along. I'm Justin Brierley and I'm speaking to Chris Watkin, who's an academic based in Australia, author of the award-winning book Biblical Critical Theory: How the Bible's Unfolding Story Makes Sense of Modern Life. And Chris is speaking at the Ideas Convention 2024 in Victoria, Australia, 23rd to 24th of August. Is the Bible an embarrassment in the modern world? Is this year's theme. Chris, thank you for joining me.
It's a pleasure to be here, Justin.
Just would you answer that question, or as well as you can within a short moment? Is the Bible an embarrassment in the modern world?
The first time I came across that question was actually listening to a rather old sermon by a Welsh preacher called Martin Lloyd-Jones. He was preaching perhaps in the 1940s or 50s. And he said, people today are saying, with the invention of the radio, is the Bible now outdated? And can we not believe in God anymore? And it struck me at the time, what an odd thing to say. Like, why on earth would the radio mean that we can't believe in the Bible? But as I've sort of gone on as a Christian, I've seen that people tend to take whatever the latest thing is and say, well, this is the clincher that we can't really take the Bible seriously now. It happened to be the radio back in the 40s. It's probably, artificial intelligence now. And it's been 101 things in between. And so I think that the very fact that we keep thinking that the latest invention is the thing that makes the Bible an embarrassment is probably an indication that it's a little bit more complex than that.
I remember C.S. Lewis had this phrase, chronological snobbery, the idea that we only ever think the latest thing people are writing about or thinking about are of any value, when in fact, yes, our ancients didn't necessarily know everything we know in scientific terms, but they were by no means stupid. And in that sense, I think, on the contrary to this idea of the Bible being an embarrassment, I think we're actually seeing a lot more people rediscovering the value of the Bible. Even secular people very often, I think, are realizing there's a lot of ancient wisdom in there, even if they don't necessarily call themselves Christian. I don't know if you share that view.
Yeah, look, you might almost say, mightn't you, that there is a surprising rebirth of belief in God.
You could put it like that.
I heard that somewhere.
That's an interesting phrase.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Feel free to use it. Look, I think that's true, and I think there's also something else that's really interesting, which is when people say that the Bible is an embarrassment these days, they often do so, and you've made this argument on your podcast before, for reasons that are profoundly Christian. It's as if the Bible is being beaten with this huge stick in public today. You're not inclusive enough. You don't let the individual flourish enough. And, the Christian can sort of flinch under those blows and say, that's my stick. It's Christianity that brought the value of the individual into Western culture. Larry Siedentop wrote a book on that, about the invention of the individual. Tracing it through the writing of the Apostle Paul. And similarly, the Christian can say that it's the Bible that brings the idea of the universal into the Western sort of social grammar. And French atheistic philosopher Alain Badiou has written at length on, again, Paul and universalism. So even when the Bible is rejected, it is rejected for reasons that are sort of thoroughly cask-aged in Christian assumptions.
Yeah, well, I'm looking forward to hearing what you have to say at the Ideas Convention going on in Australia in August. And is the Bible an embarrassment in the modern world is obviously the theme. I'm sure there'll be lots of speakers, including yourself, who'll be explaining exactly why it isn't. In fact, in many ways, it's the foundation of all of our ideas and assumptions in the West. But if you want to find out more about the Ideas Convention, go to bhc.org.au/ideas. Thank you for joining me, Chris.
It's been a great pleasure, Justin. Thank you.